Hello, beautiful souls. Today, we're diving into the power of our words, and specifically, the 3 types of immature things spouses say that leave lasting scars. You know, marriage is a fascinating journey. It's a place where our deepest love resides, but also where our most profound vulnerabilities are exposed. And because of that intimacy, our words carry an incredible weight. They can build up, or they can utterly devastate. There are a million things you should say in a marriage, but there are even more things you absolutely should not. What are these absolute no-nos? What are the words that, once spoken? It points to 3 critical areas. First is you absolutely must discover, and then never, ever press, your partner's panic button. Think about it, every single one of us has a unique trigger. I call it a panic button because when it's pressed, it can send your partner into a state of deep pain or intense anger. For some, it might be a comment about their physical appearance, especially something they're insecure about. For others, it's a critical word about their parents or their childhood. It's incredibly personal, and it varies from person to person. I once knew a man whose wife would always bring up his weight when they argued. Not just, "You've gained weight," but, "You're so lazy, just like your father, letting yourself go." He would just shut down. Every single time. It was his panic button, and she knew it. But in the heat of the moment, she couldn't resist. And every time she pressed it, it chipped away at his spirit. Your job, as a loving partner, is to identify these buttons. Not to use them as weapons, but to protect them. To lovingly, consciously, avoid those words or actions that you know will cause the most pain. Because once that button is pressed, the conversation, and perhaps a piece of the connection, is lost. Second is you must, with every fiber of your being, banish vulgar language and curse words from your marital vocabulary. This might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how many couples, even young ones, fall into the habit of cursing at each other. And I can tell you this with certainty. Couples who regularly curse at each other cannot be truly happy. The German philosopher Martin Heidegger famously said, "Language is the house of being." What does that mean? It means the words you use reflect who you are. If your mouth is spewing vulgarity, then you become that vulgarity. And for the person on the receiving end, to hear such words from the person they love most, the person they chose, it's a wound to the soul. It's a betrayal of the sanctity of your shared space. I remember hearing a story from a woman who said her husband, in a fit of rage, called her a particularly vile name. She said, "It wasn't just the word. It was that he said it. The man who promised to cherish me, who knew my deepest fears. He used that word against me. It changed everything. It wasn't just an argument. It was an act of profound disrespect that echoed in her heart for years." Your words have power. Choose to build, not to destroy, with them. Third is never, ever bring up your spouse's family in an argument. This is perhaps the most insidious and deeply damaging of the 3. When you attack your partner's family, you are attacking their very roots, their origin, the foundation of who they are. You married them as an adult, yes, but their essence was shaped by their family, their upbringing, their history. Their family is an integral part of their being. To say, "You're like this because you weren't raised properly," or "Your father or mother is like this, and that's why you're so flawed," this is an act of dragging their entire existence to the ground. And here's the kicker, it also drags down your children. Because your children are descendants of those very grandparents. You're now insulting. You are demeaning their heritage, their very being. We chose to marry our partners because we loved their essence, their unique spirit. To then attack their origins, their family, their very being, is not only cruel, but also reveals a profound lack of maturity and respect on your part. It shows the depth of your own character. So, please, remember these 3 absolutes. Never press your partner's panic button. Never use vulgar language or curse words. Never, ever bring up their family in an argument. These aren't just rules for polite conversation. They are principles for a respectful, loving, and enduring marriage. Choose to speak with kindness, choose to build, and choose to honor the person you've chosen to share your life with. What are your thoughts on these crucial communication boundaries in marriage? Have you experienced the impact of these words or found strategies to avoid them? Share your insights in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Sacred Balance, Living for more wisdom, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, find your balance and live with grace.